historical factual data as to when. See, right now, Iraq is under the U.S. and the IMF's kind of financial guidance and control. So I want to before Iraq became, and while Iraq is under the IMF and the U.S.'s financial guidance and control, okay, Iraq is currently utilizing our calendar year because of that. But I wanted to see where Iraq's fiscal year was before they came under the U.S.'s guidance and control. Okay, I wanted to see, did they have a different fiscal period? And guys, they did. Back in the 1970s, Iraq's fiscal period was actually the exact same as Kuwait from the beginning of April through the end of March, guys, in the 1970s, guys, and that's while their rate pegged to the dollar, because in 1973, Iraq's currency pegged to the dollar was worth $3.37. So back in 1973, when they had a 3+ value, their fiscal year also went from the beginning of April through the end of March, exactly how Kuwait is structured today. Let me show that to you factually. So what this is, guys, this is a book. It's a factual book that was written by some real Iraqis, okay? And you know what? I can even show that to you. The authors of this book is right here, Abdul Haq Al-Ani and then Tariq Al-Ani. Okay, so these guys probably are brothers. They wrote this book. They wrote this book back in 2012, okay? And it's called Genocide in Iraq. Now, they actually brought a lot of hard factual data or solid factual data about Iraq's economics and economy into this book, okay? So I found a section of this book right here for you. In this section of the book, they were talking about the second development plan for the country of Iraq. And it says right here, right here, that there was a five-year period, okay, that ended in 1975, which marked the end of a fiscal year. So there was a 5-year period that ended in March of 1975, and that marked the end of their fiscal year from 1974 to 1975. So right here they're telling you that Iraq's fiscal year ended in March. And then, looking at that same paragraph, it says a 9-month investment program to cover the period from April. Hold on, there's more here. Okay, now let's look near the last two lines. It says it was intended to accommodate the change. So Iraq was, back in the 70s, Iraq was considering changing their fiscal period, which currently was from April through March to January through December, but they had not made that change as of the time of this book. Okay, so again, these guys, when they wrote this book, they're showing you factually that Iraq's fiscal year, again, in the mid-1970s, was from April through the end of March. Imagine that. So back in 1973, when Iraq's value of their currency was worth $3.37 against the dollar, Iraq's fiscal year was identical to Kuwait's, ranging from April through March. Sorry, Mr. Militia Man, your credibility is weakening. Okay, so now I have now proven to you guys factually that in the 1970s, Iraq's fiscal year was, and when they had a 3+ value to their currency, that Iraq's fiscal year was April through March, identical to how Kuwait is structured today. Remember back in mid-September, I was the only one that noticed the remaining items getting finished and completed by Iraq to get out of the Chapter 7 sanctions. They finished the last 2 remaining items, and I told you they only had one long-term thing or item remaining. They had to pay back Kuwait money from oil proceeds, which will take quite a few years to finish. And I just told you, don't worry about that. I said, other than that, Iraq's going to get out of the Chapter 7 sanctions. Look at this article, guys. Right here. Iraq means past tense. Iraq was under Chapter 7 UN sanctions. You guys have a wonderful day.
Iraqis are deprived of the internet. Warnings of Iraq's return to item 7. Iraqis are deprived of the internet.
Okay, guys, so here's what we got. So, since I did the video earlier today, some of you reached out to me and said, our sources are telling us that their fiscal year is January through December. Here's what I'm going to tell you on that, guys. You cannot factually prove what I'm telling you, okay? Remember, guys, I was the first one that brought it to you that after the borrowing law was done, Iraq had nothing left, no delays remaining to change the rate. That's why they're now talking you and putting out a Shiite load of articles about increasing the exchange rate. And I brought this to you guys before any other guru did. Now, right now, so regarding their fiscal year, okay, this year, the time period right now going up through the end of December will come and go without a rate change. Okay, so all of your magical sources, you're telling me they're telling you that their year is January through December, guys. This time period from now through December is going to come and go without a rate change. So I'm just going to kindly tell you your sources aren't too bright. Okay, so there you go. So like I said, between now and December will come and go, all right, without a rate change. Now, here's where I'm also going to, I've already just proven to you your sources are pretty dang clueless with what I already just brought you, because okay, now let's talk about why you guys can't research this, okay? It's real simple, guys. Prior to the original, which would be right here, prior to when Iraq originally went under the Chapter 7 sanctions was because of 1990 from what Saddam Hussein did to Kuwait, okay? So prior to 1990, Iraq's fiscal year, as you saw right here, okay, prior to 1990, Iraq's fiscal year, right here it says 5-year period ended in March, which marks the end of the fiscal year. What have I been telling you the whole time? That their fiscal year ends in March. That's what I'm telling you. That's what they just told you right here. Then, when you go to the very near what is almost the last sentence of the top paragraph, it said it was intended to accommodate the change in the fiscal year from April through March. So they're telling you that the fiscal year was April through freaking March. Okay? And now the reason it got changed again from April through March was right here, okay, because of what Saddam Hussein did to Kuwait. So that because Iraq had to go under the guidance of control of the IMF and the US, which is called Chapter 7 sanctions, Iraq transitioned at that point to a new fiscal year of January through December. But guys, as I showed you on this right here says was under Chapter 7. And in this article right here, it says Iraqs are deprived of the internet, warning of Iraq's return to Item 7. They're saying that if Iraq doesn't get their crap together and behave, they could go back under Chapter 7. So that's telling you they're out from under and no longer under the Chapter 7 sanctions. Okay? It's simply telling you guys that, because now I want you to think about something too. Remember guys, I showed you an article this year. Also, so right here I've showed you factually that Iraq's no longer under the Chapter 7 sanctions. But remember earlier this year, guy, too, everybody removed Iraq from the naughty list. Remember, Iraq's already off the OFAC list. The IMF took him off the naughty list. And the European Union took him off the naughty list. Okay? So Iraq's no longer on any of the naughty lists. Okay? They're no longer under Chapter 7 sanctions, guys. So it's very simple. Iraq is going to be able to return back to the fiscal period that is best for them. January through December is not ideal for Iraq. Okay? April through March and again, that's where they were before they went under the Chapter 7 sanctions as of 1990, like I just showed you factually. Now, one more thing. Okay? Where do we go to see Iraq's fiscal year? What legal document or documents in Iraq show the fiscal year, guys? It's their budget. So again, the budget is what shows and announces the fiscal period. The budgets do. You know why, guys? You know why you can't study this? Again, because none of your sources that you've shared with me None of your sources are smart enough to tell you this. They're all too ignorant and naive. The reason why you can't study it, guys, is because, again, the fiscal year is stated in the budget. Iraq didn't do a 2020 budget. Guys, because Iraq did not do a 2020 budget, that's why you haven't seen the change. Okay? If they don't do a 2020 budget, what you guys are seeing, everything that you research on the internet that shows you a fiscal budget period, guys, is showing you the most accurate data from the 2019 budget. So again, if you guys try to Google what is Iraq's fiscal budget period, anywhere you go is just simply going to grab and show you the data from Iraq's 2019 budget because they didn't do a 2020 budget. But again, guys, I just showed you right here why their fiscal period is structured as it is. Again, before 1990, their fiscal period was March through April, okay? As of December, okay, when Saddam Hussein attacked Kuwait, Iraq went under Chapter 7 sanctions. So that transitioned them. So now that they're under the IMF's, from 1990 going forward, they're under the U.S. and IMF's guidance and control, Chapter 7 sanctions. That transitions their budget fiscal period to January through December. But again, guys, I just showed you factual articles right here, how they've exited Chapter 7 sanctions, and they got removed from all the naughty lists, the OFAC list, the IMF naughty list, and the European Union naughty list. That's why, guys, and because they haven't done a 2020 budget, that is why you haven't seen a change. So the change comes into play with the 21 budget. But guys, I've just showed it to you factually. And again, those of you that reached out and said my sources say, I'm going to prove to you that your sources are just pretty naive and clueless, guys, because December is going to come and go without a rate change. Hey, you guys believe what's best for you, but I guarantee you that your sources who say it's January through December, guys, okay, I just proved to you it's not. All right. So again, hey, I can show you factually your sources are very naive and clueless, guys, because I back what I say with facts. There you guys go, guys. There's the facts. Take care and have a great day.